Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to study today about telnet as well as sectel. So remotely, how you going to router. So let's first make the infrastructure remote. So I'm going to take one router here. Then I will connect with the ones 900. That is not directly connected. That's a remote. And this 2960. So I'm going follow the same style of writing from one and then model 20 so that you are able to remember which model you are working. I'm going to give host and this I'm going to live. So let me logic corners tire diagram. So this laptop supposed to access this router. We are accessing this router using the console. We will see how you going to support L1 engineer and when you going to become to L2 engineer, what are the support you, how we going to, this is on Mumbai, this router on Mumbai, okay, and the person who's sitting on this PC Nagpur. So let's connect this router is, I'm going to connect the wire connectivity. I connected router and then followed this and the simple connectivity up. So it, so that's the 00 and 01 is okay. First we're going to configure this and this PC is supposed to able to ping this. So let's configure our infrastructure from Mumbai to Nagpur. They are able to reach that. So I'm going to configure this router here, PLI. So this router 2960 model and they have connectivity with the, so we have configure T, we're going to into config mode, then I'm going to act the interface as user and we'll configure IP, that's 10 dot 10 dot 10 dot what subnet we will take. Suppose this is R1 and R2, what will be the subnet? The 12. Please go through the IP nomenclature, that's very easy. And this is router 2, so it will go to 2. Okay, 255.255.255.0. If you have not done the nomenclature class, please go through revise because this subnet belong to R1 and R2, so subnet will be 12.1.2.2. Okay, now next interface we have gig slash 1, then you shut down and then IP address configure between, this is between the This site is between the switch and router. So this LAN connectivity will start 192.16 first LAN, so 1.1 because gateway will always take 1. 5.2, 5.2, 5.2. So this interface also configure this interface. Both the interface has been going to write. Write memory means going to save the configuration the RAM. Okay, sorry, ROM. The space available for. Now come to this way router. What we have to configure remotely. For remote configuration, I'm not going to access. I'm going to access you. Before going that, let me make it this LAN is working proper. So I have gateway 192.168.1.1 and then laptop IP I will give in the same LAN. So that will be 192.168.1.100. I will take 100 as a slash 24 and the default gateway will be the IP of my router. Okay, always default gateway will be the IP of the router of that LAN. So in that LAN, the IP I given the router is 1.1, 1.100 for this. Now connect with this here. The engineer connected in order to configure this box. He has to connect with the console. Has connected with the console cable. He has there with the console and then he will configure the IP address for that interface. That is called gig 0/0. You can see here interface gig 0/0. No cert. No cert means going to enable, going to activate that port. As soon as you will do no shutdown, going to be clean. And then you have to assign the IP address. That's 10 dot will be 12.1 because 12.2 I have given here. 12.1 will be that is last one. Now if you see I'm able to ping this PC or not. If I'm able to ping this PC, then only this PC able to access my router totally. So first we have to test I'm able to ping my PC or not. The engineer PC who going to support the L2 engineer is sitting here. He want to support this device. So this device is supposed to be reachable this PC. Then only this PC can remotely access. Are you agree? Are you understanding? Right?
Yes, sir.
So let's ping to this PC. IP 192.1. I can see there is drop because we have configured the routing configuration. Because this router does not know, but this router know because this is static. What I'm going to tell, if you want to reach this subnet, so you have to go this router. So connectivity of this router, they have all the route. So IP route, they have both the subnet. This is 190.160.1 subnet, okay, network, and has 10.10 series of the net, 10.12 series of net. So this router having all the information. If you configure this router and you will see that you want to reach any network, just go to this router. I'm going to configure what static route that we already study IP route, and I'm going to say that 1.160.1.0 this subnet 5.2 5.2 want to reach this subnet, so you have to connect with this that IP 10.10.12.2. This interface IP 10.10.12.2. Look at this. Then you can see have show IP route the routing table this subnet as a static as as to the static route. So through static route, you are able to act to whom you have to contact via 10.10.12.2. Clear, guys? Let's ping from here. Able to reach now or not? Ping again. And this time, are we able to reach or not? Are you able to reach? Yes. Yes. No. Guys. Right? So you can see there is a response of coming.
Take five.
Guys. Okay. So you can see the responses.
Yes.
Yes. So you can see there is a response is coming. Dot is drop exclamation marks ping to.
Yes. Yes.
Now, okay, we are able to ping now. So can this laptop can access device remotely by city. Laptop is directly connected, but this laptop remotely connected. So let's do on the laptop. I will go. I will try to ping from here. So what is the IP? 10.10.12.1 is the IP. I'm able to reach my ping response to do this router. Let's do the telnet. What is the command? That's called telnet. That IP. So IP is 10.10.12.1. Okay. If I will do enter, let's see what's the response. The connection to 10.10.12.1 closed by foreign. Hence, you have to tell the Mumbai engineer that you need to configure telnet to this device so that I'm able to do the telnet. Otherwise, I'm not able to do. Let's do the telnet. Okay, so now I'm on the laptop. This I'm going to configure the telnet. This is very important. Try to understand how do I access remotely. You need to configure the telnet configuration so that remote person can do this. So what are the command do we have to? So command is we have to go to the configure terminal. Whom I want to access through telnet, you have to configure that is called line VTY. What is called line VTY 224. 224 means total 5 session can be open. Then you have to define the password, or you want to see what are the attributes. You can see this many attributes. So we're going to define the password, and we're going to define the transport by which we're going to access, and then enable the password. Clear, guys? So let's see that. So second command is password. I'm going to write as a simple password, and then I'm going to that enable. Sorry. Then next I'm going to configure the transport. So transport question mark. What type of transport you want? In and out, everything. Okay. So I want in input also and output input complete command input all. I'm going all the session like SSH as well as telnet, or you can define only the telnet. So I'm going to define all, and you can define output also. Want all. Okay. So generally input all is enough. Now I'm going to define the login. What type of login you want? I want, you can do question mark. You can see the authentication. I will teach the authentication method with the third party server, which is later on in upcoming classes. But today we will going to log in using the local credential. What do you mean by local credential? We're going to define the credential locally. What are the command we have given? Just let me write here. So we have to go to the config mode. I'm writing here. You have to go to config terminal. Then you have to config VTY, line VTY 0 to 4. Then you have to define next your password. Going to define your password XYZ, what you want to define. Then you have to go for login local. As soon as you will say login local, you have to define the local credential for the login. Then next you have transport. What type of transport you? So we have done transport input all type like telnet, SSH, all type. Okay. So you should not do local. Then what going to be happened if you not going to define the logging system? So let's remove the logging system first. I'm not going to configure local. I'm going to give simply login. So I'm going to give this command one, VTY this, and no login local. I will come back on that point. I'm going to only the login, only the login, only login, no local, no authentication, just login. Let's try we are able to do or not, right? Till here, understand, guys? Configuration part, understand?
Yes, sir.
So what are the things we have done? Please practice, because these are the critical access is the first. As soon as you will start your real-time job, you will find this thing you have to configure, enable remotely access device. So you going to line VTY, you have to define first command, then you have to define the password. Right now I did not define these, I have given the only login command, and you have defined the transport by which method you are doing. So I enable all, I have enabled all type of. So this is the configuration I have done. remotely, not remotely, locally access this device and use this console. So L1 engineer had done their job. Now let's see. This is the we are sitting the L2 engineer sitting here. He want to access the router remotely so that he can do the advanced configuration because L1 engineer don't know anything else and just he connect the console. He has configured the VTY so that let's do this time. I'm going to do the same command. I'm going to enter what going to happen. Everyone now they open. Can you see? Telnet this earlier it was not open. Now it's able to open. They are asking password. What is my password? What I define? Cisco. Type Cisco. I enter. So I have enter into which router? The remote router. You able to see this remote router R19841?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let's do the enable. I'm able to do the enable. Yes. Once I will do enable, they are telling no password set. So telnet you are able to access the device, but you are not able to log into the device if the device is not configured the enable password. So we have to enable the password. So where I have to go again, I will tell to whom my L1 engineer, please enable the password. So what is the configuration of enable password? That is called enable password. I will do CNA 1 2 enable password 1 2 and I'm going to write I have. So I told L1 engineer enable the password. Give the enable password, otherwise I'm not able to go the privilege mode. So again this he told yes I have done. Now the L2 engineer going to in punch this command. This time they pop up with the password and password is NA. Now I'm able to access remotely. Are you guys understand that?
Yes, sir.
So let's summarize what are the things. So we have configured VTY line 0 to 4. What do you mean by 0 to 4? Total 5 sessions. So 1 means 5 sessions. What do you mean by 5 sessions? At one time, 5 network engineer can access. How many engineer can access device?
5.
5 engineer. So, sir, how do I understand how many user? So that's command show users. What's command? Show user if you see that spelling is mistake. Spelling mistake. Show user if you. So you can see earlier it was showing only one user as a console. But now it's showing VTY line.
Yes, yes.
And what is the location of this? Who is login? The 192.168.1.100 that PC connected. So like that you can see there is a 5 user. Right now there is 2 user connected. One person connected using console cable. One person connected the VTY. You can see many more person. Only one person can connect using the console, but using the VTY, how many line you going to define that many user can at the same time that many can connect. So which one is good? Console line or VTY line? VTY line, because virtually how many user can connect? 5 users we have. Okay? So I'm going to stop here the class. Upcoming classes going to secure cell. Why do we need secure? That's a, so we can access very easily, very comfortably the VTY. Why do you this? VTY is not a secure. Within the network, it's good. But if your connectivity goes through the internet, they will understand all these configurations. This is not encrypted configuration. So whenever you are remotely access something, you have to use secure cell, encrypted communication. Right now, they are able to any debugger or debug, they can understand this telnet traffic, and they're trying to access, they have access this switch, all the configuration they will get. Okay, so we need to secure the communication. If you are sitting remotely and you want to access the device, you have to use secure channel to access. Period. So for that, we need to what? Secure cell. Here guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will see how to do remote access using the secure cell. Okay. Next up. Next class. Bye bye.